Before I invite you to dive into my exploration today, I'd like to pose a question to you. As a student, what sends your heart racing with academic anxiety? Is it the exhilaration of academic competition? Perhaps the nerve-wracking pursuit of long-desired leadership role? Now, as for me, it might not be the most thrilling answer, but I firmly believe it's a shared experience among countless students like ourselves. The ever-familiar academic performance and the resulting academic anxiety. When I was in grade 9, an unlimited stress in my brain nearly took me away. I was extremely nervous, struggling to breathe and struggling to fall asleep every night, just like the fear was solidified and stuck in my blood vessels, blocking the transport of oxygen to my frozen heart. Sadly, my sleep cycle still automatically arouses me at 4:30 a.m. each day, kept forcing me to expand my memory capacity for knowledge. Sounds horrible, right? So, why did it happen? Well, the reason was actually something that most students applying for British college had also experienced before: the IGCSE exam. At that time, my productivity took a hint since I found it increasingly challenging to maintain focus, and the intense headache seemed to cloud my judgments. As I reflected on the experience following the examination, two compelling questions surfaced in my mind. First, what was the underlying cause of my heightened academic anxiety preceding each exam? And second, what strategies could be employed to mitigate and overcome these negative emotions? Hence, I started to reflect on myself. Finally, I realized that the reason why I feel so anxious was not the exam itself. It was actually the desire to be successful. I was unconsciously putting stress to myself to push me to win the imagined competition, to be the top student in my class, and to be prized by my favorite teachers. Unfortunately, I was not confident at all because all my classmates were very intelligent and smart. I felt scared of failure, which eventually ended in academic anxiety. In the realm of psychology, there's a fascinating concept that perfectly aligns with my situation. It's called performance approach goal. This intriguing notion not only resonates with my experience, it also brings us to the world of aspiration and motivation. In other words, achievement goals. There are three orientations in achievement goals. First, performance approach goal. People with this orientation are aimed to receive positive judgment from others. And second, performance avoidance goal. People with this orientation work hard due to the desire to avoid negative judgment from others. And third, mastery goal. It's a goal that truly focuses on the knowledge and exam itself, not related to any external comments from others. In order to discover the deep-root cause of academic anxiety and delve into achievement goals, I'd like to share a study I conducted. In this study, I engaged with a diverse group of participants, including 200 students mostly from my school, in the age between 14 to 19. The aim of the study is to discover the relationship between achievement goals and academic anxiety. As expected, the result of the study revealed an intriguing connection as shown in the slide. It turns out that students who are motivated by external validation and feedback tend to grapple with higher level of academic anxiety. Conversely, those who embrace mystery-oriented approach, prioritizing knowledge acquisition, exhibit significantly less level of academic anxiety. Finally, I knew the reason why I feel so anxious every time before an exam. However, there's a new problem. It's hard for students to change their orientation of achievement goals. I had been motivated by this orientation for 16 years. So how could I suddenly ignore external comments? Is there another way to solve my academic anxiety problem? By this point, you might think I have gone a bit off the deep end. However, a thought occurred to me. If I could effectively manage my emotions, I could achieve greater sense of calm and reduce the impact of academic anxiety on me. Hence, I embarked on a new research journey to find out the most effective emotion regulation strategy for addressing academic anxiety. The result of this study will an eye-opening revelation for how we can better manage our emotions, particularly in high-pressure situations such as academic pursuits. As shown in the slide, it turns out that there's an effective emotion regulation strategy called cognitive reprisal. This strategy involves a fundamental shift in how we perceive and interpret emotion-provoking situations. Instead of letting ourselves to be overwhelmed by academic anxiety, cognitive reprisal encourages us to reform our perspective. Please allow me to illustrate with a personal example. Picture yourself in the midst of a challenging exam, feeling heart racing and nerve on edge. What I do in such a moment is to embrace the power of cognitive reprisal. By rapidly reminding myself that this exam is just a fleeting chapter in my long journey forward. Whether I achieve a stellar score or face a setback, I choose to appreciate the effort I invested and hold on to the progress. After all, it's just an exam. It's just a mere stepping stone in my long journey forward. My journey from academic anxiety to empowerment has been a profound one. The solution to those napping challenges not only changed my approach to the exam, it also altered my entire outlook on life. Today, as I prepared for each exam, I found myself in a state of calm, free from nightly negative emotions that once plagued me. I have learned that academic anxiety need not to be a relentless force. Instead, it can be harnessed and channeled into efficiency and resilience. While a hint of anxiety may linger, but it's no longer the puppeteer. Instead, I hold the string. So let's remember, even in the face of academic anxiety, we possess the capacity to emerge stronger, wiser, and more in control than ever before. My journey of mastering emotion is a critical one, and cognitive reprisal is like a beacon of hope in the face of academic anxiety. By reinterpreting the emotion-provoking situation, we can better manage our emotional response and take more control of our life. So, I invite you to embrace the power of cognitive reprisal, to navigate all the challenges for academic and professional life, to unlock your full potential. Together, we can create a world where emotions are no longer obstacles, but stepping stones towards success and happiness.